Hey, sorry, I'm just trying to figure this whole thing out. I don't actually know. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Trying to figure this whole thing out on here. It's very interesting. Just trying to go through some. What's up, buddy? I'm trying to figure out how to navigate this whole thing, so I figured I'd do it while I'm on here with everybody. I don't know what all you can see and what you can't see. It's very weird. Like I feel like I don't want this to be here. I just want my screen. Like I'd like to be able to see myself on here. Um, huh. Interesting. I don't know how to get rid of all this. And I'm using this program over here to do it all. So, who knows? Okay. Yeah, I was just checking out just to see. I was going to do some fantasy baseball stuff, going through trying to get some research done. So I don't know. Can you hear me? Does this all seem to work all right? I see like the live over here. Like I'd like to get to this. Whoops. No. Pop out dashboard. Send feedback. I don't know. I'm learning. I close that. Like how do I? Wait, what's this? Create highlight reel. Add stream marker. Dude, I don't know what I'm doing here. Just trying to figure it out. Picture in picture. Nope. Not that. Okay. Like I'm trying to get like the full screen. Instead of being on this studio here. Like I said, I want to be on here, but still have my picture up there. I mean, I guess that's how it looks. You know what? I'm going to pop on my YouTube app on my phone just to see how it looks like that. Because if it looks cool, I can just leave it like that. Oh no, I've been trying to research how to do this all day long. Let's see. I'm going to pop on my... Oh, I hear myself. YouTube app. Yeah, okay. So there, that looks all right, right? Okay. Except I can't see the chat, but I can put it on my phone. How about that? Live chat. Okay. So how does that look? That looks all right? I guess so. All right. So here we go. I think I've got it rolling. I'm just going to kind of leave it like this. I'll keep checking my chat stuff. I think that's how I'm going to have to do it. All right. So, you know, Johnny, you already know this. Like we got our fantasy baseball draft coming up. So I like to do a little bit of research on my players. So I'm kind of going through here. And I got the players pulled up. And this, like, when you're on the Yahoo, I mean, I know you already know how to do this, but when I'm on the Yahoo here, it's got, you know, it's got the preseason rankings, it's got the current rankings. Obviously, they're going to be the same because the season hasn't started yet. But where I usually do most of my research, you can see like where these guys finished up, is you can go back and look at the, you know, the season totals for last season, and that's all going to be right here. But if you go into here, down this way a little bit, you go into projected stats, remaining games. It's kind of how I cheat into it. So you pull it up and it's going to give you your projection for those players. And, you know, this is our league. This is how it's set up. So it's going to be, you know, that's going to be your fielding percentage, your stolen bases, all that. And it'll give you each player for what their projections are going to be. It gives you all their positions on this side and stuff like that. This will be your... There are some people that don't know how to do fantasy baseball, so I'm trying to just run through a couple things while I'm on here doing my research. Me personally, I like to have there's certain categories I like to be the leader in. I love to be the leader in stolen bases because stolen bases fascinate me since I have no speed myself. So I always try to look at who's going to be the steals guy, and they have Ruiz. That's pretty. Ruiz and Acuna tied. I'd give Ruiz the nod. Over like his season stats. Let's see if we got his history. No. Season stats. And you pull it up and it'll show you what he had because he had 67 steals in 2023. But some people are going to want to know who the big home run hitters are going to be, and they got Schwarber projected at number one. These are just projections on here. But this is the way you find those player projections. Now, the other thing you can go into through here is you can just pull up what you had last season, like you just pull up season totals. That's going to give you this season, which they're all going to be, and this is going to give their rankings. So this is going to be the preseason rankings. This percentage rostered is in current draft, like people that have already drafted their team and all that kind of stuff. I guess Ohtani, they got him as the highest draft pick. There's other research things that you can go to on here, like ESPN has a fantasy baseball rankings as well. Baseball America, all of them kind of do stuff. But what you mainly want to do is you're going to want to figure out your categories of your what you're searching for. So like I love to make sure that I have a solid catcher because catchers are kind of one of the hardest things to find on there. Let me put it on the projections on here. And sometimes these projections are pretty good. Sometimes they're just horrible. So right here they've got, Will Smith being the top-rated catcher. Do I think that Will Smith is going to be the catcher that ends up with the highest stats for the season? I don't think so, personally. But you have to take into account that sometimes it's going to be the fielding percentage on this that's going to crank him up a little bit because you can see he's a 992. And like I had said earlier in some of the other stuff, some of the other videos that I made, the fielding percentage is going to be higher among the catchers and the first baseman. As you can see, like I'll pull first baseman up here, and you can see Pete Alonso is projected to have the highest at 997. But like I said, your second base is going to be much lower. They're going to be 981 is your highest, and that's Altuve. And this is just projections again. Third base, going to be a lot lower. It's going to be 9. Oh, hey, it's Austin Riley. I'll take that. Ooh, I like that. Ellie De La Cruz is up here at 968. And then your shortstops are going to be, lower than that even on some of that. So, when the fielding percentage is going to be the one that's kind of newest to most people that do fantasy baseball. Your outfielders, you can kind of look at stuff on here and see where the outfielders all project. Usually your right fielders are going to be the lowest fielding percentage-wise because that's usually your worst fielder. But yeah, they got a 98.8. So it's not anything like that. But this is the best way to kind of get a general basic of what you're looking for. The categories that I like to have, like I was saying, I love to have holds when we get into pitchers. And that's going to be those categories that most people are going to need to do some research on to see who the holds guys are going to be. Not like the Mentor from the Braves is projected to have the most holds this year. Let's see how many he had last year. Season stats. Mentor had 21 holds last year, but he had 34 holds the season before. So when you're getting in here, this is kind of going to be your beginning basic tool. Now, you're obviously going to have your rookies that are on here that are not going to have good projections on them because, nobody really knows when some of them are going to be called up. Nobody really knows when some of them are going to actually get into high-pressure spots. So, let me close that. I don't need that anymore. And you can just thumb through here when you're doing your draft. You can go through here and you can look at, where they have on the precinct. Like the current ranks are going to be pretty much so far. It's just going to be how this is, how they've been, drafted so far. So the current ranks is going to be your drafting position. When you get into the draft room, the players are going to start ticking off of here, off the player available list, which is where it's going to be. But you can pull up, this is how our league is set up. So if anyone wants to sign up for the league, we still have 5 spots left. We've got 7 teams in there so far. This is our league that's set up already. We've got 7 members. We've got room for 5 more. So I will post the link to this fantasy league. It's free. Like I said, the league is free. We will send out some prizes. I've set aside some prizes that I'm going to put, or I'll be acquiring some prizes along the year that I'm going to put towards the winning first, second, and third places. Dollar Box Bangers, actually, thank you to him, is sending over some slabs that we're going to include in the prizes as well. Plus, I've had some other people reach out to me that they kind of want to get, they want to get involved as well in the league. So, anybody that wants to get signed up, I'll put that link down there. I probably should have already done it, but I'll do it after I get done with this. And then as far, like I said, as far as the research goes, it's just going to be in this player section. You can do a little bit of it. You're going to want to delve into it a little more with the rookies and the prospects and things like that. Every year I end up with some prospect that I've done research on that I'm like, oh, this would be a good person to put in there. And like I carried Adley Rushman last year before he got called up for the longest time, or the season before. I don't remember what it was. Just hoping he would get called up. And you're going to have that throughout the year. You're going to have players that, get their call up or surprise, pop up. They get there a little sooner before. And usually, so this kind of tip and trick on that, usually if they're not already on like the 40 man or already projected to get called up or something, they're not going to be available on the Yahoo list. So if you get a player that gets called up, let me click on this. Let me click over here real quick. Say hi to Warcraft on here. Okay. So if you get a player that hasn't been called up yet, it may be like a 3 or 4 day waiting period before that player becomes available in Yahoo to pick up. I had that happen to me a couple times last year. Where, like, I think Ellie De La Cruz even, we're kind of waiting on him, and it took a couple days for him to become available for someone to pick up or anything like that. This is just me running over our league. All leagues are going to be different, but some are kind of generally the same. But in here, you're going to have a waiver list, like your waiver list ranking is going to have, once you pick up a player, you're going to drop to the end of the waiver list. So you're going to be number 12. And then, as you work your way up and other people pick up players off of the waiver wire, which is going to be what like Ellie De La Cruz and all that would be under, then you're going to move up when somebody else picks them up. The easiest, you can use this research tool on here. A lot of this stuff on here is pretty good. This shows you under here, who's been added the most recently. And this is up to date. This is current. These are from previous people that are doing drafts, other people that are doing it. You can go under here under transaction trends. It'll show you. And it's actually easier just to pull up, transaction trends on here. It'll give you a different looking screen. And you can search by ads. Like, you can see who's been added the most. And that's going to be AJ Puck. You can see who's been dropped the most. Like if somebody's been hurt or something like that. Like Lucas Giolito has been dropped the most. You can check and see why he's dropped. See if he's got an injury update. Yep, elbow. Lucas Giolito's elbow will get a second opinion on Monday before deciding on surgery or rehab. So that's probably, there's a tip for you. You probably don't want to draft Lucas Giolito. But this is a good tool when you start seeing people pop up on here. Like you see Skeens is getting, is the third most drops, but it's only 21. This is 254, so that's obviously going to show you that something has happened. And with Skeens, he's been picked up 334, which is a pretty big number. So everybody's starting to add Skeens. And what'll happen is these will be blue when it's immediate update. like right there. That means they have a most recent update. These other ones, they'll still have news stories under them, but it'll be older stuff. Like not without, there's Henry Davis out there smacking all kinds of home runs. He had a 3-run homer on Thursday, and this is just good to know when people start getting called up. You'll all of a sudden start seeing that they get added a lot, or when somebody blows out their elbow, they start getting dropped a lot. Like that's a good one of the research ones. You're also going to have when the season gets rolling, you're going to have a who's hot, and it'll show you like who's the top catcher, first base, whatever. You can select utility if you want. That's a good spot to see. Oh man, that guy's on fire. I might need to look at picking him up. The closer depth chart, yeah, it gives you like a high probability that the person they've got, the person that they've got as their closer is going to be, probably their closer for a while. I believe that's how that's set up. I don't know. This you have to pay for, so I don't have that. I just kind of do that research on my own, and you can start to notice when players are being, more of a closer than a setup man. They'll start grabbing saves, and that's kind of one of those things you're going to want to look at under the transaction trends. And I'm if you guys want to, you're more than welcome to sign up for this stuff if you're in the league. It's going to help when someone's starting to move into a closer role or someone's starting to lose their closer role, stuff like that. But the ones that are available all the time to everybody is going to be that transaction trends and the who's hot. So, and you can do it like when the draft's coming up, you can use that transaction trend to see who people are drafting or who people are taking. But this is generally going to be your best overall is to go in here and select remaining games projections, and this is basically all the players' 2024 projections for the season. So you pop in there and you'd be like, okay, well, Freddie Freeman's projected to have the most runs. Again, not a guarantee, not a promise, anything like that, but then you have your home runs. You pop on there, you just click on the category, it'll drop it down. You got Schwarber at 44. Probably going to want to go with Olson. And that's the thing is like, look at the players like, yeah, okay, I want to get, 44 home runs. You get all excited about it. But at the same time, he's only going to be projected to hit 214 and, 95 RBIs. You got Matt Olson down here hitting 268 projected to be with one less home run, but he's 116 RBIs, more runs, a better fielding percentage. So that's kind of the stuff you want to look at and make those comparisons at. The way I always kind of do it is, like I said, I love steals. So I'll look on there and be like, man, that guy's going to have 53 steals, 33 home runs for Acuna, projected, if his health. But then you got Corbin Carroll on here, 49 and 28. And I kind of do it that it's easier to go with a stolen. If you're looking for a 5-tool player or a 6-category player, this is the easiest way to do it. Is in my opinion, is to go with steals. I don't mind if you guys take my plan of attack. And like I was saying earlier, I love to get a good catcher. I love to get a good setup man because those are the two hardest things to find. As far as the outfield goes, it depends on where you start. See, what happens is when you start drafting players, you start going through and you notice, all right, I've got plenty of steals. I need to start looking for home runs. If you're looking for steals, generally center field is going to be the better spot to find them just because of the speed factor, that they're a lot faster. Your power is going to come more from your right fielders and left fielders, your corner infielders, or corner outfielders, I'm sorry. So, this is going to be what you're going to want to use. And, I don't know too much more that I can help you guys with. I just wanted to get on here and, give you guys a little. I didn't want anyone to think I was holding back any information on that. When the season gets started, your whole screen up here will give you, this will be eventually will turn into your ranks or your positions that everybody's in. It'll give you all the category breakdowns for who leads in what category and all that stuff. Your trade stuff is going to be up here. When you start getting in there, you can list players that you want to list to trade. You can, when you get on people's rosters, whenever it starts, you can just click on that player you might be interested in that somebody else had and offer them a trade. Or, like I said, you can put people on here and then people can search who you're willing to trade. But I think that's really going to be about all on here. But yeah, I just wanted to pop on real quick, test out the new streaming stuff and see how it went. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and end it because I really just wanted to test some stuff out. So I'm glad I had a couple people jump in. Johnny, I know you're probably still in here. I think everybody else is pretty much left. But, all right, I'm going to end this. I just want to see how it worked and how it looked. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.